What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review and their debut, I should say, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And there's one thing I think about every time, well, it's usually WWE with Toronto, but it goes like, "Ooh yeah, Toronto! Ooh yeah! Who gives a crap?" Every time I think about Toronto, I always think of that promo with The Rock and whatnot, making fun of Toronto and whatnot. I know it's not WWE, but it's like every time I hear the word Toronto, I'm like, Toronto, you say? Ooh, yeah, Toronto! Ah, who gives a crap? But no, with them being in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, making their debut over there, um, excuse me, we kick it off with this newest signee, I guess, to their backstage team, which is Renee Young or Renee Pacquette and whatnot. She got a pretty good ovation and whatnot. Renee being there, they even say in Canada's own. I believe they said also she's from Toronto, I believe. But Renee Young being a backstage correspondent now, basically brought out Canada's own Christian Cage, which Christian still having his arm in a sling. Talking about being in Toronto and everything. You know, it felt great to be here. He is the face of Toronto and the entire country of Canada and whatnot. Talk about how Luchasaurus is going to win. It's going to be a guaranteed win and whatnot. And, it's like the Toronto Maple Leafs would lose the first round of Stanley Cup and whatnot playoffs, which the fans booed then. Luchasaurus came out for his match with Jungle Boy. What do I have to say about this match? Not a bad match out there. Christian still got involved getting off the commentary table, coming down to the ring and whatnot. Every time I'm glad Jungle Boy didn't talk here. He was in a match this time because I just don't want to see a Jungle Boy promo. That's always bad. But with this match, like I said, wasn't even that really a bad match out there. Christian Cage did get involved though. Jungle Boy trying to chase him and whatnot, and it ended up with Luchasaurus catching him in with the burning hammer, cutthroat finish and whatnot. So yeah, Luchasaurus ended up getting the win. I have to say, Luchasaurus' entrance. I know they've been trying to change this whole thing up. Damn near like Kane a little and whatnot with the fire and the fire pyro and whatnot. Not trying to call him Kane, but like some similarity to him at the same time. Next, they had Renee Young interview. I guess Ethan Page, Stokely, and Jose there talking to Matt Hardy in Private Party because they bought out Private Party's contract, so the custody battle continues, and I guess now they can have a match with Cassidy. If they lose to the firm, Matt Hardy's contract is lost in, or they get bought out. I don't know, man, where this is going at this point. Private Party looks like they just go to custody to anybody at this point. Like, what is this even about? It's like they're in this group, they're in that group. Now we're fighting for custody of them, and Matt Hardy's thing is now on the line, which they were with Matt Hardy before, but now they want to go back to Matt Hardy. So I don't know. QT Marshall's in the ring. I'm already rolling my eyes. Nick Camarato and Solo Camarato, a go go, but we don't have what was the last guy? No, a go go who is not there anymore. But it ended up being Wardlow, and Samoa Joe versus QT and Camarato. Which basically they killed these guys, and Joe hitting the coquina clutch for the win. But Warlow's doing his powerbomb thing on QT. Next thing you know, the embassy come out then, basically Prince Nana and basically talk about Warlord and all of them. Cage saying, like, no one's seen your powerbomb stuff. And, we're not going to have another, FTR night or something like that. Next thing you know, FTR came out then. Huge ovation for FTR. Big pop out there. Fans chanting for FTR then. Talk about, you got 3 members in the embassy there, but, we got our old people. Warlord Joe had a hard-fought match, but we got a partner. And I guess someone in the Pinnacle formerly, which is Toronto's own Sean Spears. We have not seen Sean Spears since the whole Wardlow feud. It's kind of funny. Like, I guess he's a face now, right? Let's remember, this guy was with MJF running around every week doing anything to take out Wardlow and make sure he loses his contract and helping MJF the whole time. So now he's a face and they got the 10 thing going on again. I guess he's face. Hopefully it works out well for him now because it's like this guy just disappeared. Like this guy was going nowhere, like anywhere to be honest. And he was just hanging around with MJF just doing just because. Now he's a face now. And then, FTR is the finisher on Solo, so I just gotta find it funny he sat out there with Wardlow now. So maybe something will leave for Spears. I don't know. But it's just kind of funny he's a face all of a sudden, and it's Canada, so we'll bring him back because it's Canada. Um, Next, Swerve went against Badass Billy Gunn. Uh, Still a little bit odd without Billy there on Monday for DX, but he's over as hell right here. Daddy ass and whatnot. The Acclaim doing their rap to the ring and stuff, doing the old Scissor Me Daddy thing and whatnot. The match itself was okay, I thought. Swerve getting the win, holding on to the ropes to hold Billy Gunn down and get the win. For some reason, after the match, they did have the Acclaim do their scissor thing and whatnot with Billy Gunn, but Mark Sterling, I don't even know why he's even involved in this, with Tony Nese now saying we got trademarks for scissoring, so you guys can't do the scissoring thing, or if you do the scissoring thing, we're gonna sue, or something, and then, Sterling and Nice did the why are they involved? Why are they involved? I don't get it. Why are they involved? Why are they part of this feud? Where's Keith Lee? What happened to Keith Lee? What happened? Like, did Keith Lee just disappear through this whole thing, and now we put Mark Sterling in his place? Like, where is that going? Literally. MJF was interviewed and talk about him last week. Stokely tried to say, "Oh yeah, man, we jumped that dude and whatnot." But MJF said, "Listen, man, I'm going to fire you. I didn't tell you to do this. So you take your Carlton Banks looking ass out of my shop right now, okay?" He says, "I hired you to do this, and you didn't do what you're supposed to." He started talking about Regal then, and him and Regal have a dark checkered past and whatnot. And Regal can't remember because he's up on his high horse, and talked about he was going to shake Willie Uter's hand last week. I realized that nice guys finished last that day. There's people like me and whatnot. A lot of people don't like me, okay? You don't have idea what's to be like me. If you don't like me, tough shit. When I look in the mirror, I punch the window because of who I am. And that's what I am right now. And that's what's going to make me the world champion. Right after that, John Moxley came out then talking about, being a world champion's not easy. It's a down and dirty job. You got to be ruthless and whatnot. And talked about Hangman Page. Hangman Page, who decided to dress like a cowboy this week and not dress like a hippie out there, actually did dress like a cowboy. Basically, having a mic, talking about Moxley. By the way, we have MJF once again in the skybox with the chip just looking down, which people like they start paying more attention to MJF at one point. Basically, Hangman talking about, you don't know, I'd be lying if, what this world title meant to him, and it was mine at one point. And then, Moxley saying, "You're not the same person you once were. That knocked me off a ladder and whatnot." And all that stuff. Like, what happened? It's gone, okay? And at Cincinnati, you're going to get taken out by me. Hangman went on to say, "I'm not the same guy. I've lost a lot of things. I lost the trios title tournament. My friends have disappeared. I've done a lot of things." He said forgot how old he said he was, but I've been a tag champion, world champion, and all that stuff. I've watched family members be lowered to the ground and bringing new life into the world, just like you have and whatnot. He says he's a husband, a father, and whatnot. He's been choked down to his face turned blue, and then he starts punching himself in his face, which he legitimately did that. Which, his promo, he showed great fire out there and whatnot. It was just the crowd kept chanting for MJF then at one point. But Paige says, Cincinnati and whatnot, I don't care if you have family in the crowd, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you to an inch of your life. I'm going to become the world champion like MJF. I'm going to tell it to your face. And next thing you know, Paige had stop and, Moxley before he left the ring. So let's remember the match next Tuesday. AEW won't be on Wednesday next week. I forgot what they said why. But hey, they're going to get to NXT next week, folks. So let's see how that goes. They got that going on. But what was the next after that? But yeah, the good promo segment with Hangman out there. I will say that. I'm sure a lot of people can bring up, hey, the catalyst that started all this CM Punk stuff, but nah, I'm not going to do that right now. But no, a good promo, though, for real, okay? That was good. It's just with MJF out there, people pay more attention to MJF than almost paying attention to what's going on to the ring. Next, now was the Ring of Honor World Title on the line with some footage from Bryan Danielson back in ROH, which I question why this match wasn't the main event. Now, listen, some would question why was the All Atlantic in the belt, All Atlantic title in the main event, given A, it was going to be a title change, which I kind of had a feeling anyways, and two, yes, it's an AEW belt, which will go over the ROH belt in general and whatnot. But at the same time, with Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson out there, and with Chris Jericho being from Canada, wouldn't you put this in the main event with the amount of star power you have right out there right now, instead of putting in the second hour of the show? Wouldn't you put this in the main event, unless this was a way to keep people connected into the show? I guess, but really think about that. Chris Jericho came out to, I was Lionheart Chris Jericho, so no Judas this time, but he went against Bryan Danielson, and it was a very good match, and I was enjoying it. Until the finish, ref bump happens. Daniel Garcia comes out, takes the ROH title away from Jericho, and ends up hitting Danielson with it. So the shocking turn and whatnot. So, some would say, like, what was the point of even doing all this to even put Garcia back in after teasing he was gonna go and help Bryan and everything several times, because Danielson looks like he's getting jumped all the damn time. Now I even wonder where is Blackpool Combat Club crew half the time, which they did come out after and whatnot, but you kind of question where they are. And with Jericho and them always jumping them, what difference did it make with Garcia and them just to have the numbers game get him jumped again? Okay, so I don't know where this is leading to, but was it really a point of having Garcia just turn back with Jericho and them to fight the Blackpool Combat Crew? How long is this going to go on? Because it's been going on for a pretty good long while now, okay? So I don't even know where this is going. The TBS title was stolen, I guess, from Jade Friday, and Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero, and no Straw Hat Marina Shafir was out there, well in the back. Anna Jay wants a shot at the title. Might I remind you, all these people are heels. Who is a face here? Anna Jay is a face. Vicky Guerrero and crew are a face. No, I'm sorry. Let me address my words again. No one is a face. Anna Jay is a heel. Vicky Guerrero and crew are a heel. Jade is a heel. Who the hell is the damn face here in all of this? Nobody. So, would you send a face to try to get the title? Why are you sending another heel to go after a heel? That makes no sense. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter went against Toni Storm and Karu Shida. She'd had some belts from another company. I don't really care. It's like the same damn tag match every other week. And my friend Steven said this best. Toni Storm and insert whoever is to go to tag with Toni Storm this week to fight Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, whether it's a tag or a 6-woman tag or an 8-woman tag, it's somewhat damn near the same match every week, but in some type of variation, especially the tag match with Toni Storm and an insert partner versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. So is this leading to anything, or is just Sheeta getting the win because we don't see Sheeta much on the show right now? Where is it really leading to? And again, you gotta remember, Toni Storm is not technically the real AEW Women's World Champion. It's the damn interim Women's World Champion. So it's even hard to call her a World Champion and whatnot. Well, not World Champion, Women's Champion. I'm really getting my words mixed up around here tonight, okay? Cut me slack. But still, yeah, is she even really the real Women's Champion right now? And whatnot. I'm surprised she doesn't have Paige come out again and try to promote more of her and whatnot if she's medically cleared or not. I know they went to the Butcher and Blade, basically going against Moxley and Claudio on Rampage, which, in a way, those guys have gotten better, but they're still jobbing everybody. Pac versus Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic belt. Listen, I don't really got much care for this All-Atlantic Championship, but I figured even my friend said Cassidy was going to win anyways. That's why they had this in the main event. Pac didn't get the hammer shot this time. Danhausen comes for the save and stops the hammer when he pulls another hammer, but Cassidy didn't want to use the hammer, and, Orange Cassidy won with his orange punch, and the best friends came out and celebrated. So this is Orange Cassidy's first title. Honestly, I think there's too many belts anyways. I will say I did like Tupac at the time. Tupac, two-belt Pac, whatever you want to say. I enjoy Pac with 2 belts at the same time. So I don't care if anybody backed off out of this match and didn't want to see it in general. Whether it be just Cassidy winning the title or just seeing this match in general. But I had a feeling this was going to happen anyways, okay? So I can't say I'm really that surprised. But yeah, no more Tupac. You get what I mean. So yes, I probably would have put the if like I said, if we're thinking smart here, you would put the Ring of Honor World Title, given the people that was involved. You could have had the All Atlantic belt in the second hour of the show to keep people invested, but given that was a title change, no wonder they put it in the main event. The women's tag, you could have put that in any between the show. By the way, the women were in the death spot again on the show. Again, what was it, 8:30, 8:45? Death spot, nobody cares, okay? Overall, though, this show in Canada wasn't bad. I guess they just tried to mostly appease the Canadian crowd, wasn't that? Hot crowd, I will give them that out there. Okay? But good for Renee Young being a part of the show now. Christian and Luchasaurus and them were pretty good. I did like the Ring of Honor World Title match. Don't know what I have to say much about the finish though. What else happened on the show? The MJF promo wasn't bad. The Hangman promo and Moxie wasn't bad out there. Also, I know Hangman's not winning shit next week, but not a bad promo at the same time. Swerve and Billy was okay too. So yeah, Dynamite was Dynamite, but just questionable in some decisions they have on here. Okay, like literally just very questionable decisions sometimes. Other than that, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Check out any review that is uploaded online right now, especially the Extreme Rules review from last Sunday. What about, 2.5 hours or whatnot? Hella review. Check that out right now. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.